Good morning, ma'am. We are from West Visayas State University. We are taking Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. Can we ask you some questions?
Yes,
Um,
sure.
First question, ano ang imong strategy on how to become a transformative teacher?
Okay. Before I will answer your question, allow me to define what transformative teacher means based on my own perspective. For me, a transformative teacher is a teacher who can facilitate learning and can bring transformation in the life of a student. For example, there is a student of yours who is not attending classes regularly, but because you as a teacher, as their mother inside the classroom, you are encouraging him that he should attend classes because education is such an important part of their life in order to become successful and to become what they want to be in the future. And so, because of that, after that such encouragement, that student, which was before a student who always have absences, now is a student who is always present in your class. So it means there is a change and a transformation that happened. So for me, one of the strategies that I incorporated is for me to really communicate with the student. Okay, when you say communicate, you are there to talk to him and ask him the problem, his profile, and then you should have what do we call this? You should have consistent communication and give your best in whatever thing that you can extend to him in order to bring a transformation in his life.
So, given the fact that you consider yourself as a transformative teacher, what is the best trait that describes you best? Why?
Well, for me, I think it's passionate and visionary. As teachers, we begin our lessons with an end in mind. That refers to our objectives, right? And so we should be people with objectives whenever we have our classes. So that reflects our personality as teachers, that we should be also visionary. We envision our children that they would become good citizens in our country because they are what's needed in order for us to achieve nation building. And so it's very important for us to become visionary. We should envision in the life of a child that he can help him achieve the goals, and holistically you can see him or her growing and attending your classes. And the next is passionate. I think passion is really a necessity for a teacher. Like you won't be able to reach third year if you are not passionate in your dream to become a teacher. So just like me, and I think all of the teachers have to be passionate because passion is what it takes for us to reach the goal. That's it.
Paano mo ini mama-implement sa ano nga pamaagi?
So in what ways
Yes.
can I implement this? So I think I can implement this if me myself can also reach my goal as a teacher. Okay? You cannot give what you do not have. So I think for me, I also need to become a good example to my students so that my students can reflect to their own selves on what they see in me.
Can you name one accomplishment and how did it impact you as a person?
One accomplishment. Okay. For me, one of the accomplishments that I am able to achieve is that I was able to establish a legacy of inspiring my students. You know what? During the modular class, it's seldom for me to meet my students. I just can think of my students, how are they doing right now, because we are away from them and they are in a modular, what you call this, modular class modality. And so instead of participating in a teacher in a class, they just have a module. So as a teacher, I'm worried about how my students will perform, how do they feel, how do they understand, because you really don't know if they are the ones answering their modules, and you don't know how they are feeling during the time they're answering their modules. And so, for me, I can say that I was able to leave a legacy because even though I have seldom chances or times to meet my students, okay, when they got into this time that they have face-to-face classes, they know me. They and they whenever we see each other, they really, hi ma'am, how are you doing? And then they told me, ma'am, send me pictures and thank you ma'am for everything. They gave me gifts during our presents during Teachers Day, and they tell me, ma'am, you are the best teacher. Thank you very much for everything. And so what I feel is that I was able to leave a legacy to them, that I want to inspire them to believe in themselves and to really trust in God, that God has a purpose and a plan in their life. Whatever may happen, just so they must just hold on to God and keep the faith and just continue the race, because that's what life is.
Sa inyo, di ba mga teacher, may nakamotivate na sa inyo pagka-transformative teacher?
Well, of course, I would say yes. It takes a village to educate a child. It also takes a village to educate a teacher. So, for me, I won't be who I am today without the people who inspire me. For example, my co-teachers in our department, they're really hardworking. Whenever you feel tired and you take a look at them, you would feel motivated because they still came from other nearby towns, but they still managed to go into school and to accomplish what needs to be accomplished. So I reflected in myself. I tell myself, if they can, why won't I? Nga hindi ko yung mahimo. Mahimo nila, nga abi hindi ko mahimo. And so because of that, I am motivated and I am empowered. And because of the in-service training for teachers, in SEP there is mid-year, and I think there is also at the half of the school year, okay, mid-year and year end. I think there is like that. Okay, so the in-service training for teachers is an upskilling training for teachers in order to give them and provide them what needs to be learned, unlearned, and relearned in order to provide quality education for the learners.
You said that it takes a village to educate a learner and it
Yes.
takes a village to educate a teacher.
Yes.
So what is the best part of teaching and what is the hardest part?
Well, the best part of the teaching is when you see the product of everything that you have worked for. And what was the other question?
What is the hardest part?
The hardest part is how you are going to continue. Right? It's really something goosebumping. It's very ecstatic for us to dream of something and to visualize what it looks like when you reach your goal. But the hardest thing is how you're going to continue. Because in every step of the way, it gets challenging and harder. And if you are not strong enough to face every step, every challenge of every day, you will feel down, discouraged, and depressed. But when you look at your learners, you see you see who are the leaders, the next leaders of the future. So if you are there, placed by God in that position, it's an honor that God used you. You are not used for just any lesser purpose. You are there as a teacher. You are there to teach the minds, touch the hearts, and transform lives. How great is that? How wonderful is that? That is why education is such a wonderful journey. You learn from each other.
Since how many years ka nagili ma'am nga nagatudlo sa UNHS?
Okay, 3 years to be exact. More than 3 years. 3 years and a month. Yes.
Sa imo journey, ma'am, you'll face a lot of struggles and you may face man struggles in the near future. So, how do you stay professional?
How do I stay professional? Well, that's quite a good question. I stay professional by equipping myself with the things that a teacher has to be equipped of, and that is by continuous learning. We as teachers, we take master's degree in order for us to upskill ourselves and enhance our knowledge and skills in order to provide quality education. And also, I also attach myself with professionals who can give influence, a positive influence and impact on me in order to become a better person and a good professional.
So, in a classroom setting, there are diverse learners.
Yes.
So, what is the best approach you use to manage your classroom?
Well, for me, and my experience, my best approach is to really understand your learners. Have the profile of your learners. Who are those learners who come from broken families? Who are those learners who have academic needs? For example, they don't know or they have a low level of reading comprehension like that. So you need to understand them. And so since you are in what do we call this, diverse settings, so you really have to be aware of the things that you will face, and that you will need to become equipped with the things that you are going to have in order to provide for those learners who are like mentally challenged like that. So for me, I include activities for those, learners or diverse learners. So even in our lesson plan, there is what we call DI, or differentiated instruction. That means you would provide accordingly to the needs of your learners. That's it.
I guess you mentioned it a while ago, but next question. What piece of advice would you give to those preparing to go into the field?
Yes, like you.
Yes.
Okay, my piece of advice is congratulations for achieving this far, going this far. I know it has never been easy, and what lies ahead is tougher, okay? Because the need of the next generation is also tough, and so you would have to equip yourselves with what's needful and what's sufficient for them to get from you. And so I want to tell you that to keep up the good works, you are starting good, and this is a very good profession should you want to enter to. So just keep going, because greater things are yet to come. Whenever you see your students learning from you, and whenever you bring a smile to the child's face, whenever you see transformation happening in their lives, you will feel rewarding, and you will feel fulfilled with everything that you have tackled and explored and went through. You would face challenges and hardships which are very essential in a person's life because um, according to a saying, ang pagtuo mawala din at testimo hindi masaligan. So your faith would be really tested on if you really believe in your dreams and if you really believe in God and your purpose in life. So that would life would really challenge you in how you're going to pursue. But hold on to that because what you're doing now is really good. So keep up the good works and continue your perseverance, continue your passion, your faith, and keep it up.
I know that there was someone before that gave you an advice. What was the advice and how did you use it to grow as a person?
Well, there was a person who gave me an advice, my cooperating teacher, when I was an intern. She told me that I should pursue and keep up the good works also. You did great and just continue what you're doing. Be strong, okay? Because of that, it impacted me. And because of the compliments that she gave me, I feel touched and I feel also empowered because you can see in her that she's done great accomplishments that you won't be able to reach that far also if you will not face all those challenges that will come along your way. So you will need to become strong enough and passionate enough and believe in yourself that God placed you in such a wonderful profession.
Last question. Um, um, Along with the answers you've given before, what is the main purpose of education and why are you so passionate about it?
So for me, my purpose in education is really to bring a transformation in a child. I was also like them in the school, and when I was in high school, I'm really excited about what I can learn from every day, and because of that, I know the feeling of a learner. Because of the reason that I know the feeling of a learner, okay, you can empathize to them and their feelings. So that means I would become. What's your question again?
Why are you so passionate?
Yeah. So I become really passionate because I know that they come to school, they spend time, money, and effort because they really need. Okay, they really need the things that are necessary for them to become professionals and a good person, holistic growth of a child. So for me, I become passionate because of the need of the students and because God placed me there, and I believe that I cannot only bring them information, but I can also bring them transformation.
So God really gave you strength to continue.
Yes,
So that will be all.
you're welcome, and God bless you.